So with rapid fire, the question that was asked, the first question from Linda to me was, who is the most important person in my life? I answered that with God, and with G Mama, right underneath God, lived to be almost 101, 100 and a half and 9 days is what she lived. I give her all of it because she fought for it. And in the hospital with pneumonia, in a hospital bed, she opened her eyes when I came in the room, and she sang to me, and she said, "There's my Daniel Boone."
Oh.
So they said, "How's Grandma doing?" I said, "She's singing." She goes, and people would say this, "How is your grandmother in good spirits? How is she singing?" She went through cancer surgery in her 90s, and 3 times. She woke up at 10 o'clock at night from one cancer surgery, and first thing out of her mouth was, "I need a cup of coffee."
Oh my goodness.
She didn't focus on pain. She didn't focus on negativity. She had a heart unlike anybody other. I always said if I met someone that had 1% of my grandmother in them, that I would marry that person, because there's so much that she gave to this world, and she continues to give, and I feel tasked, and I need to be better about this every day, with making sure that her spirit is living through me, because her spirit is the one thing that very many times in my life kept me going. So I'm going to say G Mama.
Oh, that's beautiful. What's your favorite thing about Syracuse, New York?
It's where I was born and raised. I think my favorite thing about it is that it's my home. You know, I do get to travel the world sometimes, and there's something about when I come home and I land at Syracuse Hancock International Airport and I walk down the terminal, I just think to myself, and I thought this very recently, I said, this is my home. You know, and there's a line by Macklemore where he says, "I've got my city right behind me. If I fall, they got me." And I feel I feel like Syracuse has given, I've tried to give so much to Syracuse, to Central and Upstate New York, and it is incredibly humbling to see it give back to me, and to see what the words and the thoughts and the gestures and the kindness, and there's something to be said about the fact that I've blood, sweat, and tears into Syracuse my whole life, and what's coming back is this reality that the lives that you hope you're trying to help, to hear anything positive come back really makes you feel like you're doing something right.
Oh wow, that's really profound. You might want to chat with the mayor about that. That's a beautiful way to describe Syracuse. So here's my last question. If you could pick either an author or a book, excluding the Bible,
Okay.
that has had a tremendous impact on your life, who would the author be, or the book?
I love that question, and I need to definitely read more, and it's something I want to do.
We all do.
But I would say that there's two books. One of them is by Billy Crystal about his life, called Still Fooling Him. And I think what I learned about Billy Crystal, which I thought was really, really cool, is that he's a comedian. He loves to make people laugh, and that's been something my whole life that I hold dear to me. I love walking into a room and the challenge of getting a total stranger to have fun. And so he's done that so well, and he has this love and passion for sports, and he's such a kid, and when he gets to meet people, he's a big Yankee fan. And so reading his book, I felt like, wow, like, oh, I thought that. Oh, that's like me. And it's weird to see this, like, you know, you look at actors and actresses as superhuman sometimes, and you see that Billy Crystal is really just like this kid that loves what he does, and he has so much fun, and he values his bonds and his relationships. So I take that to heart. And another book, I really loathed reading books in high school. I loathed the summer reading list.
Oh, sure.
But there was a book that we read, and I have to be honest that I don't remember all of it, and I don't even know if I finished it. But I was so moved by this book, and it stays with me so much. And when you asked me this question, I saw the title and saw the picture of the cover in my mind, The Things They Carried. And it's
I know the title.
And it's a book about these soldiers in the Vietnam War, and it's about what each of them carried with them in their travels that they held most dear. and asking myself the question, what do I carry? What do I bring into each day? What lessons, what relationships, what do I take with me in my toolbox every day? What do I carry? And conversely, in a way to check myself, what am I carrying that I shouldn't be? What type, what past am I carrying with me? What anger, what resentment, what negative relationships, what bad energy do I carry? And learning how to drop that book bag off and let God take that and get rid of that. And then, to make sure that the bag that I'm putting on is not heavy in a way that burdens me, but heavy in the love and commitment and the joy and the memories and the positivity that I've taken along the way.
That's beautiful. You make me want to read it.
So it's a very good book. So with that being said, with our president here and our leader in this community, Linda LeMura, and all that you've brought here to LeMoyne College, all that you've brought into my life, I can honestly say, and like I said, I mentioned this to Bob, you had touched my life before I met you.
My goodness.
And when a person can touch somebody's life just by being who they are, me seeing how you work, how you are, your excitement, how genuine, going to the ceremony for the Hall of Fame, and watching you just talk and say, remember that time? Like, remember how much fun that was?
Yeah.
Just to see you very humbly and very graciously and gratefully go up to a podium and be the president, yet it was all about everybody else. And I feel like that's what you always do, is you make us all feel like we matter. And I find that to be an incredible gift. And when it comes from a person who means it, it's a blessing. So.
Dan, I can't thank you enough for those reflections. I have to be honest with you. If we didn't learn our lesson about the need for each other during COVID, I don't know what it would take. The fact that we can be together again and actually, put your hand on someone's elbow and look someone in the eye and experience the humanity, the pound of flesh in front of us, to solve problems together. I don't know what it would take. COVID, it was a game changer, and we can't ever forget what we've been through and how that can make lives better for everyone as we move out of this period. So thank you so much for all you do and for your willingness to learn more about the LeMoyne family.
Yeah, well, if not for God leading me here, I wouldn't be sitting in this room with someone that I very much look forward to having plenty more conversations with.
I look forward to it too.
So for Linda LeMura, I'm Dan Tortora. This has been a very special piece of Dolphin time inside of our multimedia marketing partnership with Dan Tortora Broadcast Media, Wake Up Call with Dan Tortora, and the LeMoyne Dolphins. Thank you so much for being here, and please do yourself a favor and get to know this wonderful person when you have a chance to meet her. Thank you, Linda.
Thank you so much.
So very much.
My pleasure.
Appreciate it.